At this time, men should remove their caps, and women may leave their caps on. Please pray with me. O Holy One, you speak in blue sky, in clear spring air, in green sparkling leaves, in lightning and thunder, in pouring rain. It's in seasons of change and restlessness where you seem to do your best work, where you are profoundly and artfully present. As we enter our own season of change, as our students say goodbye to this community that has shaped them for 4 years, and as our faculty and staff and parents with proud and broken hearts let them go, speak in us too. Hover over us gathered here and fill us with your restless, creative spirit as we look forward. Be the ground beneath us as we consider where we've been, what this place on earth means to each of us. Be present also when we are anxious, where the chaos waters threaten to close in. Create space and peace in us so that we can breathe you in. And as we breathe you in, let us also breathe you out in the speech that we utter in love and hope and gratitude. Awaken us to your presence here, and as our students cross this stage, go with them. Amen. You may be seated.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to the 181st graduation ceremony for Hanover College. I also want to welcome those who are watching this ceremony on our live stream. I know that there are some grandparents and friends who could not be with us today, but they are a part of today, and it is a glorious day here in Hanover. I want to start by thanking the choir and the band, the choir under the direction of Dr. Madeline Bachvarovic and the band under the direction of Dr. David Music. You will notice that there are a number of seniors in these groups, as well as faculty members and community members, and we so appreciate you making this such a special ceremony with your music. Music speaks to us in a way that words do not. We continue the tradition today that ties all of your experiences to this point, where your Hanover education began, when as first-year students, you will remember that you climbed the point as part of August experience, reenacting the early 1800s when the only way students could get to this campus was to come by boat down the river and climb the cliff. And now it is where we celebrate this special occasion. The point has become a very meaningful place in everyone's lives, and I'm so pleased we could be here today. We have placed the Hanover Mace on the stage to signify the opening of this ceremony. It is a long-standing academic tradition, and you can read more about it in the program, but it is carried in by the senior marshal, which today is Dr. Robert Rosenthal, and the marshals Dr. Pete Wooster, Dr. John Smith, and Dr. Ruth Turner, all senior faculty members, officially open and close the ceremony. I'd like to welcome another graduating class this afternoon. For the third time in Hanover's history, we have invited back to this commencement a class who is celebrating their 50th anniversary of their own graduation. This year, that is the class of 1964. We are so pleased you have joined us, and would you please stand as I call your name and remain standing. Virginia Cooper Bollinger, Dick Beatty, Ellen Swigert Boso, Cal Brand, John McKenna, Phil Scott, and Janice Small. Thank you for joining us and celebrating the 50th anniversary of your own graduation. I also want to recognize the special gift that the senior class has given Hanover. Each year, the senior class solicits ideas and selects a gift to give the college that they think students will enjoy. This year's senior class committee donated a spirit rock, which many of you have already noticed and already painted. It is in front of Horner Center, just to the right of Horner Center. It is there for students to creatively sponsor an athletic event or a special group or a special happening or individuals and express your support and your loyalty to the college. The possibilities are endless and creativity is encouraged. I think last night it was painted by a group of art students, so you should pass by and take a look at what they put on it. Another group of students worked very hard to create what we're calling a senior snapshot. It is a manual with about 30 pages of pictures from the senior class. Unfortunately, the printer did not quite get it done in time. It's going to be mailed to you, but these students have been working all year to create this memory for you, and you will enjoy it and get it soon in the mail. I hope you will always remember the relationships you have made here and the lifelong mentoring relationships you have with faculty and staff. That is what will call you back to this bluff overlooking the Ohio River Valley. And we will be waiting to hear from you because, after all, you will always be a part of the Hanover family. And unless you tell us how you're doing, we won't know if we've been successful. Faculty and staff have worked with you over the past 4 years to help you succeed. And I'd like for all the Hanover College faculty and staff, wherever you are, to please stand. And would the graduates please join me in showing them how much we appreciate what they've done for you for 4 years. Faculty and staff, please stand. The support you get from the Hanover family is only exceeded by your personal family members. I would like to ask all the family members of our graduates to stand so our graduates can let you know how much you mean to them, and thank you for your support for the past 4 years and throughout their lives. Graduates' families, please stand. That's just to get you moving a little bit, so. It has been my pleasure, as well as my husband Mike's, to be a part of your experience at Hanover. We have watched you perform on the court, the field, and the stage. We have eaten in your Greek houses and in the dining room with you, and many of you have eaten in our home with us. Because you have shared a part of your experience with me, it will forever be a part of my life, especially the 22 students I just traveled to Italy with. What a glorious experience. So I appreciate the time that you have spent with us and what you've left behind in terms of leadership and changes you've made in this college. It is my pleasure today to introduce the chair of the Hanover College Board of Trustees, Phil Scott. Phil is a graduate of Hanover College, as is his wife, Ronnie, who's in the audience today. Phil earned his law degree from the University of Kentucky School of Law, and after serving in the U.S. Marine Corps, he returned to Lexington. He serves as a partner and chair of Bingham, Greenbaum, and Dahl Law Firm in Lexington's office. He's an excellent example of how a Hanover degree can put you on the path to success. We will be honoring him today as he steps down after 8 years as chair of the board. He has been an excellent board chair for me, supporting and accepting new ideas and practices. He has a clear idea on the difference between being a board chair and not stepping into the day-to-day running of the institution. We are so fortunate to have had him by our side for these many years. Phil will bring you greetings from the Board of Trustees. Please welcome Phil Scott.
I do bring you greetings from the Board of Trustees. This is a particularly special day for me as for the second time, I got to walk in a graduating procession with my classmates. And it's good to renew old friendships and to see everyone. I hope each of you will have the opportunity in 2064 to walk with your classmates. It was remarkable. None of us did have canes or walkers, so there's hope for you. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to acknowledge the faculty of Hanover College. They're truly a dedicated group of teachers. And more importantly, they're mentors to each of you that are graduating today. I recently read an article in the Wall Street Journal, perhaps you all saw it, about the relationship of a faculty of a school and how successful its graduates are in the future. The one defining constant in this report is the close connection between the personal mentoring students receive and how those students succeed in their life's work. You're fortunate to be a graduate of this college. The faculty has done its job. It's now up to you to move on and move forward with your life's work. I also want to advise you that the Board of Trustees has undertaken its single most important task and duty, and that is the selection of a new president. Sue DeWine will step down after this next academic year. We could not have had a more wonderful person leading our college over the past many years. With the help of many, she has provided exemplary leadership, dedication, and unfailing energy to Hanover College. We all owe her a deep debt of gratitude. Sue, thank you. And finally, I want to express my appreciation to this graduating class for allowing me to participate in your graduation. I wish each and every one of you great success in the future. Thanks so much.
And now to introduce your senior speaker. It has been our tradition to have a senior speaker selected by the senior committee of the graduating class. They use a rigorous application and audition process involving submitting outlines anonymously and then being selected for an audition. The final selection is made by the senior committee after hearing all the finalists. From the outstanding auditions, Jan-Niklas Reisser was chosen. Jan is from Nuremberg, Germany, and will graduate today with a physics and economics major, as well as being in the business scholar program. Jan played 4 years of varsity golf at Hanover, and he is a member of Lambda Chi Alpha fraternity. But this is what I will remember about Jan the most. The night that Jan and Ron Cachapani came to the president's Halloween party as Mitt Romney and Barack Obama. And they played those two characters perfectly. I will never forget it. After graduating, Jan plans to work on a master's and PhD in physics or economics. He would like to enter the business world and work for a company in which he could combine his physics and economics interests, as well as his language skills in German and in English. He hopes to work for a technical company that does international business. Please welcome your senior speaker, Jan Reisser.
Where has the time gone? I don't mean this as a rhetorical question. Can anybody please tell me where the time went? 4 years normally sounds like a long time, but these 4 years flew by so fast. It felt like yesterday we all moved into our dorms and met our roommate for the first time, thinking, please God, don't let this guy be a goober. In addition to this, do you remember the first day of school when you couldn't find your class because every brick building looked the same, and you were afraid to ask someone because you didn't want anyone to know that you were a freshman? It was like hell finding your first class. I had the hardest time ever finding mine. For me, finding my first class was harder than finding a job with a Franklin degree. Whoa. Maybe shouldn't have said that, but further, do you recall the strange classes the staff had to sign up for during our freshman year? We mostly studied these topics because the college course catalog required them. So physics majors, philosophy majors, mathematics majors, English majors, and biology majors, you name them, suddenly found themselves enrolled in an art appreciation class discussing the meaning of a Picasso painting. Hence, a variety of different interests, personalities, and ways of thinking ended up in a room discussing something they had never discussed before, which was actually great. Many might see this as a poor allocation of human resources. We always saw as a Hanover advantage over every other college student in the country. By creating this intellectual diversity in the classroom, you learn to tolerate different opinions and respect your peers. Moreover, it was astonishing to see the variety of solutions, ideas, and beliefs developed over this topic. We started to find solutions to problems we wouldn't have come up with if we all had shared the same major or interests. This is what made our liberal arts experience truly unique. This is what we're leaving with today, an unimaginable and certainly special way of thinking and viewing ideas. We are the crazy ones, and I mean this in an all positive way. This is what Hanover College has given us, a way of thinking completely outside the box. We're following thoughts most people do not dare to follow. We come up with ideas most people are afraid to proclaim. Yes, we are the crazy ones. When thinking about my Hanover education, the Think Different Apple commercial pops in my mind. They say, here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can do is ignore them because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because according to Steve Jobs, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who actually do. We are those crazy ones. And I truly believe that every single one of us is going to do great things in life and be great people and change and impact the world in a distinctive way. But let me tell you, this privileged way of thinking didn't come without a price. We all had to work so hard to be where we are. For the students of Hanover College that are here today, I'm not telling you anything new, but let me explain to those who are not Hanover students or graduates what studying here is like. It consists of 3 steps. The first stage is my favorite one, the optimism. You look at your assignments and study material and get this exciting grin on your face, followed with an I can do this attitude. What? Only 50 pages to read? An 8-page paper? Pfft. And some short assignments in my other classes? I should be done with this before dinner. But then here comes stage 2, the realization. You have been studying already for 5 hours, the dining hall is already closed, so you missed dinner, and you are not even halfway done with your collegiate studies. This leads into stage 3, the frustration, which mostly consists of banging your head against a desk or a nearby wall while contemplating over and over and over again, why oh why didn't I go to a state school? But the fact that we're sitting here today is proof that we got through this. But we didn't just overcome our academic challenges here at Hanover College. Many of you dedicated yourself to an athletic program and succeeded by beating our rival school, winning conference, or setting school records. A lot of you volunteered and helped out the community or other people in need. Some of you even held a job to which you progressed and dedicated yourselves. Also, many of us were part of a club or a Greek organization in which we made friendships that will last a lifetime. This is truly unique about this place, and I honestly believe that the friendships you created here are more than just good friends. The individuals sitting around you will be the same ones who are going to stand next to you when you get married, are going to be there for you during good and bad times, and are the ones who will carry your coffin when you eventually die. These lifelong friendships, as well as our academic success, are what we're taking with us here today. But what we're leaving behind are the countless good memories. I mean, let us be honest, when will you ever go out on a random Wednesday night again? When will you ever dress up like a pirate and by the end of the night be truly convinced that you actually are a pirate? When will you ever go to an 80s themed party dressed in your parents' old clothes, celebrating a time when none of us were born yet? When will you ever go again to a moonwalk party, bouncing from mattress to mattress and hoping not to hit your head on the ceiling? But it's not just the parties that took place on this campus that left us with good memories. How about spring break, which consists of the entire Hanover campus almost literally moving 680 miles down south for a week? Or think about the wiffle ball tournament. Who would have ever thought that hitting and chasing a plastic ball would become one of the most important events on this campus? Yes, all of these things end here today, but we're leaving with memories of them. And it is easy to share those memories with a friend with a simple, hey, do you remember? And a smile. I know it is sad to come to a realization that these fantastic 4 years are over, but guess what? We always can come back. After all, we did great things here at Hanover College. Every single one of us had individual forms of success while attending this prestigious institution. For me, personally, it's a great honor as a foreign student from Nuremberg, Germany, to be giving this speech. Despite coming in as an outsider, the Hanover community accepted me, and being allowed to speak on behalf of this community is the ultimate sign of that acceptance. Triumphs occurred regularly at Hanover College, but I don't have to tell you about all your accomplishments because nobody but yourself has them better immortalized. With this being said, we also understand we didn't just always win. There were plenty of moments during our college career in which we lost, in which things just didn't quite go our way, and disappointment, agony, defeat, and grief shaped our life at Hanover. For example, there could have been a failed test, a bad paper, a loss to a rival school, the termination of a friendship, or a fight. I comprehend that those are the moments we don't like to look back on. As a matter of fact, we often try to forget them and let our victories prevail. But in my opinion, our losses and disappointments in life are as equally, if not more important than our victories. I understand that we all have been raised throughout our entire lives that winning is the ultimate goal. Don't get me wrong, it is. But how can you win when you've never lost? Maybe this notion of constant winning is overrated, and the true winners are the ones who have also experienced defeat. Boris Becker, a German tennis player, was the world's best during the 80s. He won Wimbledon at the age of 17, and from there went on to win many more tennis majors all over the world. When he was about our age, in his early 20s, he entered Wimbledon, and everybody expected him to win effortlessly. But then, to the surprise of everyone, he lost during the second round against a no-name player who had incredible odds against him. As you might imagine, the media plunged over Boris Becker, asking him how he could have possibly lost. His response was, "You know what? I don't mind losing." You can imagine the expression on the journalists' faces after hearing a statement like that. He explained further, "The reason I play the sport is to win, no doubt. But when I actually win, what do I get out of it? Sure, a nice trophy, prize money, and fame, but this is it. A win doesn't make me better. But when I lose, I cannot stop thinking about the things I did wrong and how I can improve them. And this is what makes me better. So yes, you heard me right. I don't mind losing. Because I get so much more out of a loss than a win. Because a loss actually makes me better." So class of 2014, don't be afraid to lose. See a loss as a learning experience. When life disappoints you, understand what you have done wrong, dust yourself off, and come back stronger and better than ever before. Losing is truly not a bad thing, but it depends on what you make of it. Thank you, class of 2014. Don't ever stop being the crazy ones. You made those 4 years one hell of a ride. I love you all.
That was an outstanding talk, Jan. Particularly the reference to the crazy ones, because you're going to hear from a person who I think is one of the crazy ones that you're talking about, who goes out and does something very different and very unique, as we all hope all of you will do. Our outside speaker today is J. Joseph Hale, Jr. Joe graduated from Hanover, as did his wife, Linda. Linda, along with their son, Grant, wife Amy, and their 2-year-old Margie are all in the audience today. Joe is a graduate of the Harvard University Business School's Institute of Nonprofit Administration. He currently serves as a member of our Board of Trustees, and I am so pleased he's able to share some of his extraordinary experiences of bringing light to areas of the world without electricity. I know you will be inspired by his actions, and you will become one of Jan's crazy ones. Please welcome Joe Hale.
Thank you. I recently read a study that said 10 years after commencement, 94% of college graduates can't remember, they don't have a clue who spoke at their college graduation. So that took a little of the pressure off of me today. It's always great to come back to Hanover, and, which may be hard for some of you guys to believe because I know you're just itching to get out of here today. And I see a lot of smiles out there, which are probably on the faces of all you parents who realize you've just written your last tuition check. So it's a big day for a lot of people in the audience, but I am honored to be here today. President DeWine asked me to say a few words about reinventing yourself in retirement, and I thought about that. And I thought about speaking about retirement on your graduation day was sort of like planning your funeral on your wedding day. So if I veer a little off from that topic, please indulge me. Here's the opening thought. Congratulations. You're a Hanover graduate. You've earned it. Feel good about it. Your Hanover degree certainly has value. Your work here built that value. It'll benefit you in years to come, in your work and in your life. The second thought, give thanks. You got yourself here, but certainly not without help. As you pass through this day, remember those who have parented you, who've loved you, who've taught you, who've stood beside you, who've befriended you, demanded more of you, and helped you to become the person that you are today. Thank those people. And even though right now you're thinking about leaving Hanover and kind of beginning the next phase of your life, I ask you to include Hanover in that demonstration of appreciation. The value of your degree will depend partly upon the performance and reputation of this institution. So in the future, when you're asked, support Hanover College in whichever way possible. And believe me, you will be asked in the future. And here's the third thought. As you look to life after Hanover, remember that it's possible to do well and do good while having fun. Earn a living, help the world be a better place, but also enjoy life. It's all about balance. I ask you to try it. If you were at Hanover graduation, say 40 years ago in the good old days when Hanover locked up the women at 10 o'clock on weekdays, allowed women to wear pants if it was below freezing, the men had to wear coat and ties to dinner on Wednesdays and Sundays, we had mandatory convocation twice a week. But back then, if you were at Hanover, your expectation would likely have been to work until you were about 65, retire to enjoy life, give something back for a while, and then check out. Life was perceived as a simple, linear series of acts. You learn, you work, you retire. Then you use your remaining time to enjoy life and maybe help some folks out. Well, the world, as you know, certainly isn't simple anymore, and it's really not terribly linear either. But the opportunity in that is the ability not to wait until later in life. Work hard, help somebody, have fun, all at the same time. Now, I didn't come to Hanover from Floyd Knobs down by New Albany with a silver spoon in my mouth. My dad was a mailman, mom was a homemaker. About a year and a half after they were married, my mother woke up one hot August morning with a headache when she was 8 months pregnant with me. 12 hours later, she'd been diagnosed with polio, and she ended up spending the rest of her life in a wheelchair. But you know, I never heard my mother or father complain once about the cards they were dealt. And I think that really provided me with a glass half full approach to life. Always look for the silver lining. It's an approach I heartily recommend. So the message here is limit the whining. Take responsibility for the cards you're dealt and improve upon them. As Sue said, I left Hanover in 1971. And in the last 40 plus years, I've had 19 different career engagements. Not different jobs, 19 different careers. You know, I can see the parents rolling their eyes saying, oh God, what a great role model they've got up here for their kids. But I mean, those careers have included teaching, middle school, high school, college level, arts management, real estate development, swim coach, corporate philanthropy, sales, communications, utility management, and there were more. My latest assignment is leading a global solar power effort to bring energy to people in parts of the world, South America, Central America, Africa, and Asia, who otherwise use kerosene to light their lives, to light their homes, or else they just know darkness at night. I've also had over 100 volunteer positions supporting or leading civic initiatives, from raising over $100 million for activities and projects as varied as a modern dance company, to building a contemporary art museum, to managing aquatic events for international sporting competitions, to helping lead the National March of Dimes, including raising funds for them by running 7 marathons in 7 months on 7 continents. And there actually is a marathon on Antarctica. It takes place every 2 years. You have to plan that project very carefully to make that. Also, mostly actually my wife Linda over here, but I helped raise a family of 3 kids, all now married and with children of their own. And Linda and I have enjoyed many friendships in our lives. We've been fortunate to have some really amazing experiences. We've dined with celebrities and CEOs, with presidents and princes. But after family, I guarantee you we're never as happy as when we're with old Hanover friends, because we instantly fall into this warm camaraderie with the people with whom we shared this Hanover experience. I believe Woody Harrelson said it very well last month or in March when he was here talking to you all. He said that fame is eclipsed by family and friends. I think you'll find the same thing true in years to come. Now, my family's been blessed, to be sure, but I'm Exhibit A for the argument that a full life is possible right from the start, and that you can do well and do good while having fun at the same time. There's actually a solid body of research to the effect that once you get beyond uncontrollable life events and genetics, the main drivers of happiness are family, friends, faith, and work. Now, I'm a doer, I'm not a researcher. So my way of proving that conclusion has been to live it, to do well, to do well for my family, do good for others, and have fun along the way. Balance. Try it. Don't let opportunities pass you by. Seek meaningful work that sustains you both economically and personally. Build a family to love and nurture and enjoy. Find and relish friends beyond acquaintances. I'm talking about true friends. And please engage in something beyond yourself. Volunteer work or the arts or education or some form of civic activity that adds layers of meaning to your life. If it calls you, let faith be another foundation in your life. Hanover has given you the capacity to enjoy a meaningful life. Please do so aggressively with rigor and relish. Create a better you. I came to Hanover from modest circumstances, and I just retired from my position as a member of the executive team of the country's largest utility. And so now, as Sue mentioned, I've begun the second act, or the next phase of my life. A friend recently remarked that when we have a leadership in a big corporation and we retire, we go from being a VIP to an FIP to a TIP. We go from being a very important person to a formerly important person to a totally irrelevant person. And I'm not quite sure where I am on that progression right now, but personally I believe retiring in the traditional sense of the word is a selfish act. We spend decades amassing skills and experience and building relationships, and we need to find a way to use them to create that second act for ourselves, but also to benefit the world. About the time I had retired for about a week and was kind of going crazy, driving Linda crazy from boredom, a friend and I both read a story in the New York Times about a woman in Kenya who would get up each morning about 4 o'clock and leave her 5 children to walk 3 miles to pay a bush taxi $3 to take her a 6-hour ride to a village that had electricity where she could get her cell phone charged. But because there was so much demand, she had to leave her cell phone there and retrace her tracks to go back to her 5 children. A couple days later, again, she would get on the bush taxi and go back to get her charged cell phone and pay the 25-cent fee. We figured for that lady and for millions of others, there had to be an easier way, and that really led to the creation of the Global Bright Light Foundation, because there's 1.3 billion people in the world without access to any power today. Today, Bright Light is the largest non-governmental organization in the United States devoted to providing simple solar lanterns to families around the world. For $50, a donor can have the satisfaction of knowing their gift has significantly transformed the life of a family currently living off-grid in a remote area of the world. No more breathing harmful kerosene fumes or burns from a spilled kerosene lantern. Cleaner air to breathe. Their children can study and read at night. Mom can cook. Dad can continue to work after sundown. Changing lives, one lantern at a time. I just returned last week from very remote areas in the Andes of Bolivia and Peru. This Monday, I'll be in Moscow giving a speech, a message of appreciation really to our major donor, a coalition of the 16 largest utilities in the world. On Friday, I'll be in the jungles of Rwanda, checking on our distribution of lanterns there. I'll tell you, there's not a better feeling that you can get as that feeling that I get when I see how our simple lantern fundamentally changes a family's very existence. Doing good, having fun, balance. As you leave here today, you're prepared for a world that's changing, whose context will be complex and difficult to predict, whose overall direction will be, as I said earlier, nonlinear and uneven, but whose general trend will be, as the trend of history always has been, one of challenge and improvement that leads to progress. In the context of your life, the world's going to offer you many opportunities to challenge and improve yourself. Please take them. Don't be afraid. Indeed, seek to improve your position and your circumstances. Have very high aspirations. Then aim even higher. Hanover has prepared you not just to work, not just to participate, but to lead. Make the direction of your life one that accelerates upward. Work for it. Reach for it. The world that you're graduating to is an amazing place, but it's not perfect. There's a whole lot that still needs fixing. And I see that all the time in my travels. There are a lot of people, still far too many, who live struggling lives and who need help in education and the basics of life, to overcome hardship, to survive disasters and calamity, to grow, to heal. These people are all around the globe, but they're also right at home in our own communities. So in your own way, find your way to care for it. Linda and I have always had people in the center of our lives. Our family, always first and foremost. Friends, many of those people who became friends here at Hanover, and many more through our work in civic engagements. And our best friends have been friends for life, even as we and they have often shifted jobs, sometimes shifted states, and many times shifted countries. But we share that core set of commitments: work, family, friends, faith, and a willingness, too, to look for the common good, to leave where we've been better than we found it. And we've had a lot of fun along the way. So don't forget to reach for the joys that family and friends bring. Live for it. We've also benefited from and relied on our Hanover education our entire lives. It's given me the foundation. It's given me the flexibility and the adaptability to move from one of those 19 careers to the other, and also to chair the myriad of volunteer activities to which we've been involved. It's helped give us both the capacity for family, friends, and faith, and for a range of work and civic activities. Now, life hasn't been perfect, but we've had great joys in our friendships and also our family and civic efforts. And so balance, in my opinion, equals this contentment. I hope you'll have that life. Build on the gifts, the potential, the capacity that Hanover's given you. Seek to do well, do good, but also have fun. Balance. Our family has a painting in our home on Nantucket. We commissioned an artist who's originally from Indiana to create it for us. It's a primitive painting of the Nantucket Harbor, and around the perimeter of that painting, it says, "The best part of a journey is coming home, healthy, safe, and content." Every night for the last 40 years, I've said a prayer asking that my family be healthy, safe, and content. And notice I don't ask for them to be happy, because I think happiness comes and goes. But contentment, a satisfaction with your life, lasts forever. Having a balanced life, doing well, doing good, while having fun will lead you to that life of contentment. I can't tell you how much I envy you guys sitting out there just starting out on this next phase of your life adventure. Take some risk. Aim real high. Be one of the crazy ones. It'll pay off. Thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Joe. That was exactly what I was hoping for. What an inspiration. I'm now thinking about my second act, so you can give me some good ideas. Dr. Joe, will you now present the candidates for honorary degrees?
Good afternoon. Greetings to the class of 2014. Greetings to the faculty and staff who have helped bring you to this day. Greetings to all of our guests. And perhaps at this moment, most importantly, greetings to Mr. Eric Otten, who is going to give me hand signals somewhere. Okay, very good. President DeWine, it is my honor to present Philip D. Scott for conferral of the degree Doctor of Law. In honoring Phil Scott, we are today paying tribute to one of our own. After graduating from the college in 1964 with a degree in both history and political science, Mr. Scott received his law degree in 1967 from the University of Kentucky College of Law and was admitted to practice before the Kentucky Bar. During a 3-year tour of duty as captain in the United States Marine Corps, he was admitted to practice before the U.S. Court of Military Appeals, and he has subsequently been admitted to practice before the U.S. District Courts in both Eastern and Western Kentucky, before the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, and before the U.S. Supreme Court. In the course of a distinguished legal career of more than 40 years, Phil Scott has developed considerable expertise in the areas of conflict resolution, healthcare law, and commercial law, especially as regards international transactions with the Arab states in the Middle East. He is also a recognized figure in equine law, with an emphasis on thoroughbred breeding and racing operations in the United States. He is a fellow of the American College of Equine Attorneys, a distinction reserved for those individuals who have proven to their peers and to the bar, bench, and public a high order of professional practice and personal integrity. These professional and personal traits, distinction enough for most individuals, exist alongside an all-important third one, a gift for effective and purposeful leadership. Together, they account for the unprecedented selection of this native of Lexington, Kentucky, to be the first non-Louisville chair of the firm of Bingham, Greenbaum, Dahl, one of the principal Louisville law firms serving clients throughout Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio. The theme of leadership brings us closer to home. Phil Scott received his first degree from Hanover after 4 years of unremitting hard work with nary a moment for fun and relaxation. This goes into the archives as an official record. He is with us today after 21 years of additional service as a member of the Hanover College Board of Trustees, the last 8 years of which have seen equal diligence as chair of that board. That tenure has been marked by initiatives, policies, and practices that have changed the faces of, the voices within, and the habits of the college. To cite only a few achievements of particular significance, I note his support for the inclusion on the board of both student and faculty representatives, his support for the extension of college benefits to domestic partners, his inspirational and exhortational leadership among board members at the outset of the current Live Our Loyalty campaign, and most importantly, his commitment to diversifying the campus in general and the student body in particular. President DeWine, in recognition of his contributions to Hanover College, to his community and state, and to humanity, I present Philip D. Scott for the degree Doctor of Law.
Phil Scott, upon the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Hanover College, I now confer upon you the degree Doctor of Laws with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. As symbols of your honor and achievement, I now present you with a diploma and this hood. Congratulations, Dr. Scott.
Should I apologize?
No. But I will congratulate you.
Congratulations. Thanks so much.
President DeWine, it is my honor to present J. Joseph Hale, Jr. for conferral of the degree Doctor of Humane Letters. In honoring Joe Hale, we are again recognizing the remarkable achievements of one of our own. Some of this will be a bit repetitive, but that's because none of it is irrelevant. Mr. Hale is a 1971 graduate of the college with a degree in English and is a degree holder from the Institute in Nonprofit Administration at the Harvard Business School. His several careers, 19 as he mentioned to you, career engagements, have been diverse in keeping with his liberal arts training. Co-owner of an architectural firm in Indianapolis, executive director of the Metropolitan Arts Council of Indianapolis, director of programs at the Indiana Arts Council, Vice President and Chief Communications Officer of Synergy Corporation, now Duke Energy, and President of the Synergy Foundation. His service on the boards of nonprofit organizations from Hanover to Nantucket are too numerous to mention. He's been a member of the college's Board of Trustees since 1999, in which capacity his architectural eye has been invaluable in preserving the character and the appeal of this campus. Closer to his home in Cincinnati, he has displayed remarkable dedication to numerous philanthropic causes. In the course of his career, he has raised over $100 million for nonprofit organizations, a significant portion of which has gone to such causes as a new home for the Cincinnati Contemporary Arts Center and a new YMCA in the downtown Cincinnati area. It is a bad but unavoidable pun to say that Joe Hale literally goes the distance for those causes in which he believes. He's already alluded to what I'm about to repeat. He personally raised over $250,000 for the March of Dimes Foundation by running 7 marathons in 7 months on 7 continents. We should all have such focus, such direction, and such energy. We should all be so fit to serve. Allow me to reemphasize the above point about energy. Mr. Hale would agree with me that there is a direct link between the energy to which one has access and the quality of one's life. He would do so because I suspect he himself wrote those words, or a close variation on them, in his current position as president of the Global Bright Light Foundation. Global Bright Light is a non-governmental organization working globally to provide cost-efficient, effective, and safe solar lanterns and lighting systems to families, schools, villages, and refugee camps where there is no conventional access to electricity. In so doing, Global Bright Light affects the quality of the day and the night, improving health, safety, education, and economic opportunities for hundreds of thousands of individuals. President DeWine, in recognition of the many ways in which, personally and professionally, he has affected the quality of the day since receiving his first degree from Hanover, I am pleased to present J. Joseph Hale, Jr. for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
J. Joseph Hale, Jr. Upon the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Hanover College, I now confer upon you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. As symbols of your honor and achievement, I now present to you your diploma and hood. Congratulations, Dr. Hale. And now, Dean Jobe, will you please recognize retiring faculty members and then present the class of 2014 for conferral of degrees.
Every May, a new class of graduates for whom commencement is a time of recognition, of celebration, but also of separation, arrives in occasions, events such as today's. But occasionally that recognition, celebration, and separation extends as well to members of the Hanover College faculty. At this time, let me ask that the following faculty members come forward. Professor Robert Rosenthal of the Philosophy Department, who is participating today in his 47th commencement ceremony. Professor Pete Wooster of the Department of Geology, participating today in his 42nd commencement ceremony. Professor Jan-Niklas of the Department of Physics and Astronomy, who is participating in his 25th commencement ceremony. And Professor Kay Williams of the Department of Education, participating today in her 14th commencement ceremony. On behalf of countless Hanover students, those present today and those who have come before, I acknowledge and thank you for your long and distinguished careers as teachers and scholars, advisors and mentors, role models and guides, friends and confidants. On behalf of the Hanover College faculty and staff, those colleagues and co-workers present today, those who have come before, and those who will follow after you, I acknowledge and thank you for the examples you have provided of dedicated service in the best traditions of the college. In recognition of and appreciation of that service, the Hanover College Board of Trustees has voted to confer upon each of you the distinction of Professor Emeritus or Professor Emerita. Mr. Scott, President DeWine, colleagues all, students in the class of 2014, and honored guests, please join me in recognizing these 4 faculty members for their 128 years of good service on behalf of countless Hanover students.
Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Hanover College, I now confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Arts. Would you please rise? With all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining, as a symbol of your honor and achievement, we will now present your diploma. Congratulations.
Excuse me for the pause. We're making sure we get this recorded. Very good. President DeWine, I present to you 233 members of the graduating class of 2014. Of these, 39 have earned their degrees with honors, 14 with high honors, and 2 with highest honors. The candidates whose names appear on the program have been recommended by the faculty and duly approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Bachelor of Arts from Hanover College. Will the candidates please come forward to receive their diplomas? I ask that we hold our applause until all diplomas have been awarded. Alicia Marie Aldridge. Colin Vincent Alexander. Tyler W. Arsenault. Ashley Nicole Ard. Ethan Matt Armour. Madeline Elizabeth Ashley. Excuse me, Ashby. Robert G. Bader III. Kristen Ray Baker. Christopher Franklin Bainey. Bradley Ballman. Jordan Christopher Baer. Ronald J. Bites. Sarah Bertrand. Hunter Blake. Carly Bolton. Dexter William Britt. Holly M. Brunn. Alexandra P. Burhorn. Jane Catherine Burnell. Tyler Benjamin Busberg. Taylor Elizabeth Butcher. Nicholas Dean Butterfield. Paige Elizabeth Byers. Thomas Gregory Call. Chantel Caudell. Abigail Chambers. Colton James Chapman. Trevor L. Chapman. Melanie Marie Chestnut. Ashley Nicole Cochran. Elizabeth A. Cochran. Derek Matthew Coe. Shannon Mackenzie Corcoran. David C. Craig. Tanner James Kripe. Kevin E. Dager. Brandon James Dirk. Elizabeth Ann Dewis. Dylan James Dunlop. Kyle J. Edge. Lauren Frances Ayler. Antonio Joseph Ehrlich. Catherine Lee Elliott. Nancy Jane Epling. Sarah Kathleen Erler. Rachel Evans. Paul M. Falkowski. Michael E. Farrell. Angela Fleck. Jacob E. Forbes. Brandon Lee Foster. Dylan Futrell. Caitlin Danielle Garlinger. Jordan David Hall. Sloan Hamilton. Andrew C. Hanna. Carolyn Hillary Hendersaw. Kelsey Marie Hill. Brendan A. Hogan. Megan Renee Hogston. Jason Alexander Holcomb. Matthew Philip Holcomb. Elizabeth Marie Hollis. Annabelle Horton. Jinray Hu. John Remington Humphrey. Jason Benjamin Honeycutt. John Mitchell Honeycutt. Chase Jansen Ingle. Imran Irby. Laura Michelle Eisenhagen. Nicole Johnson. William Corey Jones. Samuel D. Campert. Jeremiah J. Kearns. Brendan Michael Kelly. Natalie Ann Kent. Ronald L. Kitcher-Pinty. Robert Patrick Klotz, Jr. DJ Kondaki. Georgia Tandy Lacey. Morgan Ann Land. Brett Robert Lane. Jonathan Patrick Lane. Amanda Marie Learned. Casey Lynn Litz. Elizabeth Victoria Long. Felicia M. Lovett. Kelsey Michelle Mabry. Kara Marie Mayer. Daniel Joseph Maines. Jesse May Manning. Hope Elizabeth Martin. Andrea Elise Martinez. Rachel Denise Massey. Matthew Gregory McConnell. Lauren Elizabeth McGee. Megan Louise McGowan. Olivia Ashton McPherson. Quashawn Melton. Ariel Mashurda. Adrian M. Monox. Rachel Maria Mondragon. Michael Edward Monroe. Alexander G. Moreland. Jordan Clark Myers. Kelsey Elizabeth Nicholson. Austin M. Olvey. Farron Elaine Osborne. Shelby June Overton. Haley Marissa Patterson. Lacey Nicole Peelman. Shidoa Pong in absentia. Matthew V. Perkins. Samantha Marie Peterman. Long Zui Pham. Haley Elise Pearson. Christina Renee Pogue. Donald Joseph Poper Jr. Jacob Tanner Porter. Connor Edward Powell. Brandon Allen Ramsey. Laken Mackenzie Reed. Alina Starr Reese. Caitlin Rebecca Regan. Jan-Niklas Ferdinand Reisser. Anna K. Reno. Alicia Dawn Rentschler. Carson Willett Reynolds. Matthew Todd Reynolds. Nathan Daniel Richter. Jacob M. Rieger. Emily Marie Roberts. Andrew Scott Roby. Matthew Ryan. Eric David Sage. Joseph Richard Sander. DeAndrea Cheryl Sanders. William Gray Shireholt. Curtis Allen Schimmel II. Alexandra Lynn Schmitz. Janet Louise Schnurr. Kelsey Elaine Schaefer. Taylor Russell Shaw. Charles W. Shepard. Alexandria Marie Shields. James Donald Shireman. Zachariah David Schultz. Josephine M. Smiley. Terry Tyler Smith. JC Elaine Spoonmore. Andrew D. Stark. Donald R. Stevens III. Brian Philip Stewart. Brittany Nicole Stewart. Grace C. Taylor. Bruce Michael Thompson. Elizabeth R. Tock. Hillary Fisher Tollefson. Brittany Nicole Travis. Lillian Elizabeth Tucker. Nardine Terjman. Karine Danielle Turner. Michael D. Udi Jr. Shelby Christine Villier. Carrie Lynn Vollmer. Kelsey Ann Wagner. Ashley Lynette Walker. Cammie Lynn Walterman. Ethan Wayne Waltz. Brennan Eric Ward. Anthony Nicholas Ware. Loran Page Wilson. Nadia M. Wise. John Kenneth Wittig. Savannah Rose Walford. Zui Wu. Yuhao Young. President DeWine, the following members of the class of 2014 have earned their degrees cum laude. Jessie Elizabeth Barton. Kelly Lynn Bednar. Kathleen Michelle Brenniger. Colin Joseph Brook. China Cheney. Sarah Susan Chalewski. Carla Shea Clark. Molly Addison Connor. Stuart Creasy. Tyler Cunningham. Carrie Lee Detienne. Philip Lee Dold. Max J. Fisher in absentia. Carrie Gavitt. Jennifer Berlin Gore. Carly Ann Guthrie. Aubrey Faith Harshy. William Monroe Hockenberry. J.C. Dawn Hubbard. James R. Rusty Jones. Thomas J. Jones. Kylie Rochelle Justice. Brian J. Lefevre. Janelle Lance. Tara K. McMahon. Amber Catherine Metala. Cody Lee Musti. Jordan Neidlinger. Stephen Joseph Ati. Laura Elizabeth Pruitt. Seth Taylor Revolt. Andrew Allen Ridner. Addie Christine Rosenberger. Andrew James Stevens. Elise Marie Weddle. Samuel Theodore Werney. Jessica Claire Whitty. Derek Lee Worden. Christina E. Youngkin. President DeWine, the following members of the class of 2014 have earned their degrees magna cum laude. Lauren Elaine Bowers. Lila Rebecca Cahill. Chelsea Beth Gentry. Patrick Heckman. David Michael Henson. Chloe Elizabeth Hutchinson. Rachel Lee Jones. Megan Nicole Keller. William Michael Masters. Katie Danielle McKinley. Danielle Renee Miller. Jessica Lynn Redelman. Catherine Ann Y. Kelsey Marie Y. President DeWine, the following members of the class of 2014 have earned their degrees summa cum laude. Sierra Joanne Haar. Erin Elizabeth Kettlehut. Please join me in recognizing the Hanover College class of 2014. And now, please rise and join me in the singing of the Alma Mater.
Let us pray. Holy One, keep us mindful that we do not go from here alone, that through this community you have loved us, and that love is not bound by time and space. Send us from this place confident in that love and changed by it, prepared to offer it to the world. Amen.
Rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rains fall so soft. until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of His hand. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of His hand.
This concludes our 2014 commencement. If you have a chance, stop by the President's house for one last goodbye. Safe travels today and for the rest of your life.
I'll have to count for that. I'll need it back next year. Of
Ciao, policeman.